It's 5 o'clock, and you're off the clock with B-Sky. Now, today we have James Wood with us. Now, he's a mutual friend through Otis from the ABA. He said, you need to get this guy on here. He used to be a bull rider, crazy awesome dude, and he's an absolute killer. So, I've heard a little bit of stories about this guy. He's kind of he's special. I don't really know how to put my finger on it. This dude, he's got a lot going on. I've seen alligators, seen some hogs, deer, wood arrows, homemade bows. This guy's got a lot going on, and I'm ready to pick his brain. I'm sure he's got some stories. Anyway, let's get right into it. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Let's get right into this thing, man. Thank you for coming today.
My pleasure. Thank y'all for having me.
You're an interesting individual. All right, for one, traditional bow making and arrows. So there's people that shoot recurve bows and stuff, but not many people that are slinging, wooden arrows that they made themselves.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got into it, and just, man, give me the spiel.
Well, I am just turned 47, and I've been hunting since I was a little peewee. I mean, when I was 6 or 8 years old, my parents would take me down to South Georgia and drop me off at my great uncle's, and he'd fix me an old pillowcase with biscuits.
Oh yeah,
a canteen of water, and take me 5 miles down the road and drop me off with a 22. That's where I learned to hunt.
That's
squirrels. I mean, squirrels, quail, whatever. Mm-hmm. I loved it. That's how I got into hunting, and it just evolved from there, to rifle, to compound. I started compound hunting when I was in middle school. Killed my first deer when I was in 7th grade, I think.
Wow, heck yeah.
And I bow hunted ever since. But back in them days when gun season come in, I'd hang the rifle. Right. I mean, I'd hang the bow up and just go.
You go rifle.
Yeah, back then. But I think when in 1999, I joined the Marine Corps. I got sent to Hawaii. That was my first duty station. And
was in Hawaii?
Yeah. I went out there with a sea bag, and I had my compound shipped out there within a week.
Really?
And I killed pigs, wild goats out there with I mean, that's what I did. If I wasn't doing that, I was spearfishing.
So you're hunting your whole life, man. Hunting's been a big part of it.
This is my passion.
Yeah, it's in your DNA.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
So you're in the Marines. How long were you in the Marines?
5 years active, and I did 3 in the reserve. Yeah, got off active in 2004.
Thank you for your service.
Well, it was my pleasure.
And you're a bull rider. Otis told me you was a bull rider.
Yeah.
What a resume.
Well, back then you was trying to prove to everybody you was tough.
That's how you did it, huh?
That's what you wanted to be, the toughest, the baddest boy on the block, young and dumb.
And the whole time you just killing stuff. Guys, if you made it this far, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. It helps us out tremendously, and it helps us push to get more things in the gear shop, more content up. And if you like something or you want us to do something, drop a comment down below. All right, we'll get back into it.
So what happened to your bull riding career?
Well, I started out riding bulls as a dare, and that's where I met Otis. Y'all call him Otis. I call him Buckshot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's probably a story behind that.
That was his call.
There has to be a story behind that.
Oh, yeah. That was his rodeo call name. That was his call,
really?
Old Buckshot. Yep. Now, he told me when he quit riding bulls that name kind of went to bed with it,
Oh, yeah?
But he always be Buckshot to me.
It don't sound like you stopped calling him Buckshot.
I hadn't talked to him in over 20 years till he saw me on a podcast or on a YouTube video with a guy named Jason Samkowiak.
Oh, yeah?
I was deboning a hog in a video, and OB, Brian, whatever y'all call him, Brian, right? What y'all call
Yeah.
He reached out to me, Otis. Yeah.
Yeah, Otis.
He's like, is this the James Wood that rode this and that bull and that bull? And I was like, yeah. It's me. And then we had a little reunion there, and I mean, we've been communicating ever since. Yeah.
I'll be dang.
Yeah, but I got started bull riding as a dare.
Dare, huh?
And I got
so you're one of those guys that get dared and you just do anything?
back then I would, yeah.
Well, remember,
Do you still do that?
No, I'm a little bit smarter than that.
Really?
Yeah, I agree.
I measure the risk reward thing.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Back then it was worth it though.
Yeah.
Back then it was worth it. So let's get into what you're doing currently, right? Now, making your bows, your arrows. Walk me through that. What got you into that? Because I know you said that
Why do you make your arrows?
whenever you was a middle school, you could have first deer, you compound bow hunting.
Yeah.
When did you get into the traditional bow hunting?
4 years ago, I got in the trad, and my first year I was working in Florida, so I didn't get to hunt much at all. I got 3 deer that year, and that was with a Bear Super Grizzly 45-pound recurve with carbon arrows.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year, I had a Big Jim Mountain Monarch. Big Jim Bow Company's in Albany, Georgia, south of where I live, and I could actually go down there and meet him, and
That's cool.
he builds bows there.
So did you get into traditional hunting because it was more challenging?
Yeah,
Like, 'cause it was kind of like a little tougher because at that point you didn't kill tons of deer.
Yeah, the compound just kind of got to where I wasn't getting it was kind of automatic. I know how that sounds, but don't take it the wrong way, but it was just
The same
pretty
thing almost.
automatic.
Right.
You know? I mean, I hadn't shot a deer over 25 yards in 4 years with a compound. I was getting close already.
Right.
So I just kind of wanted something different, and I got hearing about traditional archery on podcast stuff, and I got into it.
Do it.
So I had my first year with that Big Jim bow, I killed a dozen deer with it. And then during the springtime, a buddy of mine gave me a piece of Osage log, and I had 2 older fellas kind of mentor me in building that bow, and man, got it built, and the first time I drew it back, it cracked.
Oh.
We put a deer sinew wrap on it off deer backstrap,
Right. Yeah.
and let it sit for 4 days. Thing's ugly, nasty, crooked. And I hunted with it for a full season, and it was the most gratifying hunting I've ever done.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean, hunting with something you carved out of a log. I built the string for it.
Right.
Got a big crack on it with deer sinew wrapping, holding it together.
That's grinding.
I mean, so you build this stuff for, and I asked you, and like, why do you build your arrows? So not only you build your bow, but you want to build your arrows too.
Yeah.
So you just do that because
just different.
just
the main reason I like wood arrows are they're quieter off the bow.
okay. So there's a reason why you do it too.
Yeah. And
Not just to be different.
no, I mean the when you're shooting a slow bow, you need a quiet bow.
Yeah.
You know how deer are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
So-
Right.
I found out the first year I shot those 3 deer with carbons during the summer. I was like, man, these wood are the way to go. And my first few, my buddy Foster Kane built me, and then I ended up building my own. Later I ordered a wood shafts. Right?
Okay. All right.
From they're out in Oregon, I think. That's where Sherwood Shafts is. So he sends me the Bear shafts.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
And then all I do is I fletch them either with natural turkey fletchings, cut off the wing, or I ordered but I won't.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is, man. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do that.
I don't know if everybody wants to do that. I don't know if everybody knows how to do that.
That's cool though. Everybody
I
on their
mean,
bucket list that's a bow hunter's like, I want to kill one with a recurve one day.
How many
Everybody wants to.
Yeah, but how many guys do you know that goes?
That extreme with it?
Yeah, I mean,
hardly none.
That's a special
Zero.
individual.
Zero.
I mean,
You
That's
got to
not
be
man
crazy.
enough.
You got to be a little bit off.
is that what it is? I
Yeah.
wasn't going to say you had a loose screw or
You got to
nothing.
be. I'll put it to you this
Yeah.
way. I mean, it's 30 yards with a compound, it's dead, right?
Yeah.
Right.
30 yards with a traditional bow, you need 15 more yards.
I bet you're a very patient person.
You've got to be.
I mean, I could tell you are because I could just see myself carving out a bow. I wouldn't be very patient.
Yeah.
No.
That
No, I would not be either.
that first one I built, I had 44 hours in it.
Man,
44 hours.
that explains
44.
that explains why you kill so many deer too. You're just a patient person.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
When you with this traditional stuff, I mean, last week I got impatient, shot one, hit it in the scapula, couldn't find it. I should have waited. And when that deer run off, I was like, I would have never took that shot in an urban situation. Why did I take it here in the big woods?
Right.
You know, it's a mistake I made, you know, and
Why did you think you made that mistake?
the deer was in there. And when I literally just flinched a little bit, and his back was to me, and he jumped. I should have never shot at him because he's already nervous. You know, it's a doe. But anyway, it run. I think deer's still alive. I never found a drop of blood, nothing. You know, but
That's good.
Yeah, because I mean, shooting traditional bow, I mean, the arrow's moving a little slower.
oh yeah.
So if it ain't right in the pocket,
170 foot's a smoking trad bow. 170 foot a second's a smoker. You know.
yeah, that's
Holy
crazy.
cow, it is.
Wow, I ain't
Yeah.
know.
And
That's what you're shooting, the one your bow you made.
yeah, my bows
170.
average about 170.
170.
How many pounds is it on the draw?
Most of the ones I shoot, the bows I'm shooting right now, 50. 50 is the lightest I like. 50 to 57 pounds in there, and a 50-pound trad bow's kind of equivalent to like a 70-pound compound.
Right.
You know, with a trad bow,
Wet off. Yeah.
they you know, your standard is measured at 28 inches. So most of your bows will say 45 at 28. So, but every inch more you draw past 28, you add about 3 pounds, basically. And I got about a 29.5-inch draw.
So on your arrows, what do you use broadhead wise?
For deer this year, I started playing with these Simmons tree sharks, which are about a fixed blade, 2-inch head, cutting. It's like throwing a hatchet at them.
So it's like a real wide. How long is it? Pretty long.
Yeah, they're real narrow and wide at the back, so you know they cut in there good. But for hogs, I like the little old Ace Standard. That's my go-to. Hog head, they're $44 for 6. You don't cry when you lose them.
Right. Well, I gotta just say, I mean, do you ever see yourself just making a arrowhead?
Oh,
I mean, that's the next step. When you think, I mean, if you made the bow, you made the arrow.
Did you kill the turkey to make the fletchings?
no, I did not.
You skipped a step.
The turkey is the only thing, big game I hadn't killed in Georgia with a self bow. A turkey.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and that's hard now.
Oh yeah, and I'm not a turkey hunter.
So B. Scott, you're talking about making broadheads. I mean, are you making the broadheads? too?
Snapping points? No, I buy my broadheads. I shoot the
Right.
you know, steel heads, glue on, just hot melt, glue them on the
I got you.
wood arrow.
Oh, you glue them on the
Yeah,
arrow.
yeah, you glue.
That's
them.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
How much your arrow weigh?
My average arrow weighs about 680. Yeah, 660 to 680.
You ever get bored? You ever get bored with it? I mean, what's your next thing? I mean, what's the next thing you gonna do? You gonna spear hunt? Have you spear hunted?
I don't.
Well,
You can't. It's illegal in Georgia to spear hunt.
Oh, it is.
Well, you can do it here in Arkansas.
Yeah, I could have speared several deer this year.
Oh.
Right over them, huh?
My next thing is to kill a really good buck. I've been
What's your biggest buck you've killed with your bow?
with a bow. Probably 120.
120.
Yeah. Ever. I'm not a trophy hunter. I mean, every trophy I've ever killed, just the first one that showed up. You know. When they-
My trophies look like I do that. You know what I mean? I'm the same way. I don't kill big deer either.
when you pick up that trad bow, anything inside 15
brown
yards is
is
a trophy.
down.
Yeah. I mean,
I guarantee it is. I guarantee it is.
I bet you're so pumped up too.
this
I
is
mean,
the first year I quit shooting button heads. I mean, literally.
Hey,
I hear you.
baby steps.
How old,
Baby steps.
how old were you? How old are you again?
I'm talking with a trad bow.
Yeah. I hear you.
The last few years, buttonhead come in there, I was sticking him. They don't count toward our bucks.
Low hanging fruit. Low hanging fruit. Them
Hey.
bucks are a lot less cautious.
It's a grocery store, baby.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
tendon and ribs ain't that hard.
Man,
Yeah, you won't get busted near as bad with a young deer.
good eating.
No.
Good eating.
Yeah, I gotta get them big bucks. They gotta be something wrong with them.
Yeah. Now this year
Oh yeah.
I let a 130, maybe mid 135 walk 7 steps. Got it on video. It's on my.
What you?
really?
YouTube. Yeah.
How come you let it walk for?
I done shot 2 bucks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I done shot my 2 bucks. I shot a.
That's why I let it walk. We don't let it walk.
He wasn't gonna let it
No,
walk.
he wouldn't.
Hey, that thing. That's the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, it was hard.
I bet
Was
it
it
was
hard?
hard.
It was hard to watch that deer.
Was you
walk.
upset?
Not. I was like, I knew better than pick my bow up. I picked my cell phone up. I had the GoPro rolling. I picked my cell phone up and just videoing that way I didn't pick my bow up.
Oh man,
You know.
Oh man. So what's the craziest thing you've killed with a bow?
With I killed a bear. I've killed 3 bear with traditional archery.
Wow.
Man.
But the gator I killed this year.
Killed a gator with a bow?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a picture right there.
Yep. All wood arrows. That was my bow fishing reel, that Campbell soup can.
Where'd you shoot it at?
In the back of the head.
That's
and
a
neck.
soup can?
I shot it like 4 times.
That's a Campbell soup
Yeah,
can?
yeah.
Oh.
That's what the
So you basically like bow fish. You kind of turned your own little bow fishing arrow.
Yeah.
That's a wooden arrow right there.
I noticed you wear Sika.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got really nice Sika.
That's crazy to me though.
And you make all your hunting stuff.
Yeah.
You're a freaking,
To me, he's wearing Sika. And he's making his own bows and stuff. It's
Hey.
like a mixture of everything.
he's a unique individual.
If you're people, I hear all kind of crap about it. You wouldn't believe.
What kind of crap?
They're
What kind of crap you hear?
Sitka this, Sitka that,
Sick,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Well, if you're a bow hunter, those shirts, those tops, they're designed by bow hunters for bow hunters. The arms are tight to you.
Mhm.
You don't get all this, even with the insulation, you don't
Right.
get all the,
Right.
I mean, if I can get a piece of clothing that'll keep me out there longer, comfortable,
That's right.
I'm gonna get it.
That's right.
That's right.
You know, I wasn't a big Sika guy either until I started wearing it. And I tried it, and once I tried it, I'm like, this stuff is designed for this.
Oh, that shirt
You know.
right there, that Insect Shield shirt,
Yeah.
Oh,
you won't last very long without that in swamps in there in Georgia.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those mosquitoes got cleats on.
Yeah.
Serious.
The first time I took that thing to the swamp, I got back and I ordered 3 more of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You got the gloves too.
Yeah, and the gloves.
Do you wear the face shield and everything?
Yeah. When I start on the actual stalk on a hog, I pulled that face
Yeah,
shield.
you talking
up.
about the Equinox?
Yeah.
Yep.
The Equinox
Equinox
pants.
guard, yeah.
Yep. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
We got the pants and we got the hoodies and
Yeah.
the gloves and all that stuff for turkey hunting.
Oh,
It does
yeah.
good. Yeah. I don't know how that stuff works. How's it work?
It's just the material, the way that material's built. They just can't stick that
What's that thing called? They stick them?
it's like a-
sticker,
The needle,
sucker.
Oh, mosquito's nose.
They can't stick their
They
sucker
can't
through
stick
that stuff.
pin through there and get you.
Yeah, the clothing line is amazing. The Equinox is amazing, but man,
So you shot that thing right behind that, right in a little soft spot where they say on top of the head.
Man, I shot that thing like 4 times. The guy,
you didn't tell us that time. You didn't tell us that part.
Yeah.
So that hunt was the first time I ever got on a Havoc boat.
Really?
Yeah. So my buddy lives down there on Tybee Island, and we were going to go up this area that we hog hunt a lot, but Hurricane Helene come in there and you couldn't get in there. I mean, it was devastating on that part. And there are trees everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up going with a fella named Logan, a good friend of my buddy Trey's, and he just had bought a Havoc. It's like the second time it'd been in the water, and he had a 1553
Oh yeah.
VJST.
Oh yeah. That's it.
And 4 grown men got in that thing, and we go gator hunting, and I'm like, this thing's sick.
Wow.
I have
Well, y'all
got
had to load it down too.
oh yeah, I mean I was the smallest one on the boat, I'm talking about some big boys on
That's
there.
right.
And so we hunted in that thing that night, got flooded on. I mean, had to pull up. We were standing under a little canoe where they had some canoes on a public ramp. We were like huddled up under canoes in the flood. But I was so impressed. I come back home and started looking for used ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I told Otis, I said, man, I'm trying to find me one of them used Havoc boats. I said, I hunted out of one of those things and I was so impressed. And he's like, yeah. He said, I know the guys that build them things. I was like, really?
Yeah. Small world, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
It
that's
is wild.
Otis is like the matchmaker.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
Otis,
He knows
Buckshot.
Yeah.
He knows everybody.
He knows everybody. He remembers everything.
He knows
too.
everybody.
He remembers.
I can't even
everything.
keep up with it. I mean, we got this little group chat thing. I'm like, oh man, who's this? Oh man, oh man, oh man. It's just like, holy cow.
Otis is
He
a
knows
busy
everybody.
Man. He's a busy man.
He might be a politician when he gives up his career.
You think so?
he might run for office. As many people as he knows.
He knows everybody. Ain't nobody he don't know.
Yeah.
So tell me, all right, so right now, it's duck season here in Arkansas, deer season, still season. So what are you doing right now? What are you going after? What's your plans? Like, what do you have cooking up?
Well, right now I need 2 more does to be completely tagged out. In Georgia, we get 10 does and
10
bucks.
does?
Yeah.
You get 10 does and what?
$2.
12 deer?
Yeah.
Get 12 deer in Georgia.
It keeps you busy. That's why you live in Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, easy.
You'd done move if it was like 2 deer, wouldn't you?
I'd at least go buy a Georgia license.
I hear you. God, it's a lot of deer. Y'all got a lot of deer down there.
Man,
12
Well,
is pretty crazy.
certain areas, I mean, the area I live is, I got more public land in the county I live than private. But
I used to live
Is
in
it all swamp?
no, I live just above where the swamps start. I had to drive at least an hour and a half to get to the closest.
And you enjoy going out there and hunting out in the swamp, though?
That's my favorite hunting by far.
Do you do it all by boat, or you just walk around out there? How do you do it?
99% by boat. Yeah.
You're going after pigs, huh?
Yeah. I'd go out there and I'll, launch the boat, get out there, and I'll hit it on the bank and get out and make me a big loop. If I don't see no fresh sign, I get back in the boat and move up, make another loop.
Right, so you're looking for a sign at that point?
I'm looking for mainly tracks and fresh rootings, and when I see what I like, then I just the next loop might be 5 miles, 6 miles,
Mm-hmm.
but I just start with the little loops.
I got you. So you're just walking around there. How do you hunt them out there? Like, what's your strategy?
Try to keep the wind in your face and just
Are you
walk.
stalking?
Yeah, all
You're
spot
stalking?
stalk on the ground. Yeah.
Oh,
Every bit.
okay. I see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit for no hog.
He's spotting, stalking hogs in the swamp.
Yeah. Yep.
What is this? You got a video?
Yeah, this is a crazy hunt right here.
Oh, I see a little piggy. Piggy.
Holy cow.
Oh.
Watch that stump. There's one right there looking at you.
Oh my God! What's going on here?
What?
Just a bit outside.
You're going to have to make some more arrows.
Ooh.
What in the world is going on? You pull that one back. Good grief. That's what I was thinking. So how many pigs do you get
What
on
in
that?
the world? Let's start from the beginning. You're not just walking around.
So you was just walking through the woods and you seen the pigs?
So I was trying to get to the very back of that swamp, that particular property. That's a piece of public ground in Georgia. And I was wanting to go back there. We were in crazy flood conditions. I was wanting to get back there and see if I could find a few high spots.
Yeah.
And about halfway back to where I was wanting to go, I was like, the heck with this. I'm not going to make it,
Yeah.
And I was actually walking back to the boat and I heard a pig squeal.
Yeah. Oh.
And I was like, what in the world? Where was that? I knew it was close. So I just pulled out my binoculars. I'm standing there just glassing, and I saw that log from about 80 yards. And I seen that red one laying on it. So
they were all just so that whole area right there was like had water everywhere.
Oh,
so they were just laid up on that log.
the water come up so fast that was the only thing they had to get on, right there.
Really?
Yeah. So
you snuck up to did you like, I mean, it's hard to sneak in water when you're walking through water. Would you just creep real slow?
It took about an hour.
But they weren't going nowhere.
Yeah.
They're staying on the log.
So as soon as I see them, first thing I did, check the wind. And I'm like, I can't go this way. I got to loop all the way back. So I'm looped up.
Holy crap.
The whole time I got on hip waders, trying to keep them from filling up. So you tippy toeing, I'm using my bow as a, and I kept that stump in between us. But at the last minute, I had to kind of get out from behind it. And on the way there, I heard some other pigs squeal. So I knew there was more than one, but I had no idea they were all in that stump till I shot that first.
So they were all, okay. Were they, because at first in the video, we just seen that one on the stump, the red one.
That's all I saw.
Were they all inside of that?
They were, the rest of those were huddled up on each other in that big root ball.
Holy crap, dude.
And what's crazy is I cut the camera on and off so much on that stalk because I didn't want the battery to die. So after that happened, when I got back to the truck, I couldn't find the video I hook it to my phone. You know how you go back and look at you. I said, nobody's going to believe this. Nobody.
No.
And I got home and found it. And I said, thank you, Lord.
Oh, man, imagine if you didn't hit replay.
Oh, I've got crossed up on that several times.
You get the wrong, you get on the wrong wave there.
Yeah,
you miss the whole thing.
Yeah.
And only all the cool stuff happens when you mess up.
Yeah. The biggest buck I shot this year, I got in. I hadn't seen a deer, I really wasn't expecting to see nothing, but I went and I went in there with a battery, 44%, and I got extra batteries. I didn't change it. I got in a lockdown with a doe and shot the biggest buck I shot this year at 7 steps, walking right, and missed the shot.
So when you're hunting deer, are you on the ground or are you up in the stand?
I hunt them from the stand. Yeah.
Right. Is it like a lock on? Is it easier to do out of a lock on? I imagine it'd probably be kind of hard to do out of anything else.
I hunted out of a saddle for years till this year, but this year it started hurting my right. I broke my right foot and ankle, and I got a hip injury.
Well, this goes back to the bull riding. This is where bull riding ties in.
Actually, no. I broke my hip and ankle pushing some cows up on a side-by-side. They cut out a herd, and I cut with them, and the thing flipped over and broke my foot and ankle. And
horrible.
And my hip, my wife's cousin come over from California to deer hunt. So I was trying to find him somewhere to rifle hunt. Climbed up in this old shooting house. There was a tree growed up over the roof. I went to push it up just where I could open the door, and the step broke. That's how I hurt my hip.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
that's
my bull riding injuries is hand, ribs, knees. I broke this old big nose 4 or 5 times. But yeah.
Hey, you proved you was the toughest though.
What'd you do? I mean, besides your military career and your bull riding, anything else you did?
All I ever did before I joined the Marine Corps was farm.
Right. You're a farmer?
Hay and cows. Yeah, I worked for a guy. And I mean, the reason I farmed, the reason I wanted to do that is for the hunting, to get more places to hunt. Yeah.
He's ate up with it.
Yeah, he loves it.
He loves it. I guarantee you. So your favorite thing deer hunting? Is it deer hunting?
Hog
Your favorite? Hogs hunting?
I like the bear hunting in North Georgia too. This first year I didn't kill a bear. I missed one.
You still got 2 does to kill.
Yeah.
You better get back at it.
I'm telling you.
You're running out of time.
I got
But in Alabama, you kill 1 deer a day, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So where do you live in Georgia?
Right above Macon.
See, I lived in Fort Benning, Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Columbus.
I hunt down there at Fort Stewart a lot.
In Phoenix City. See, we used to go to Alabama side to kill a deer a day.
Yeah.
Back when I was younger.
There's a lot of hogs at Benning.
Yeah. Fort Benning had a lot of hogs. Yeah.
And Fort Stewart's a good place too.
So is this one of the bucks you killed this year?
That's the one I let walk. Yeah.
Oh man, sad.
He had a little bit of mass on him.
Yeah, he did. He's a good buck.
Yeah, he's gonna be a really good. His left main beams broke off now, so he'll make it. He's got good ones too. Yeah.
You shot a button buck instead of that one, didn't you? That's what happened. You shot the first thing that showed up was a button buck.
I didn't shoot any.
Then you had to let this one walk.
The only reason
is that what happened?
No. I hadn't shot any button bucks this year.
Oh, okay.
Look at him
Lay a
right.
hold
He's just taunting you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set you up.
How
man.
often does that happen? Do you just have a big shooter buck just sitting under there eating?
It won't happen again because I'll have a tag to the last.
He done learned his lesson. He's gonna let that spike walk.
That's a nice buck.
It is a nice buck. He got a lot of mass. You can tell he's an older buck.
Yeah.
See what I do? I do it opposite, and I always cut myself short too. So what I do is I'm like, well, I can't shoot another buck because I gotta have one buck tag in case the big buck comes out. Well, what happens is I eat the tag every year.
Well, I'll eat the tag before I let that happen again.
I'm telling you, man, I do that all the time. I'm like, all right, I got one tag left. It has to be, a good buck, really good buck. And I'll sit there and I'll pass, decent bucks, and then I eat the tag.
Well, Tim asked me what was my next thing to do. My next thing to do is kill a big one with that stick, though.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do it in Georgia?
That'd be pretty
Are you
cool.
gonna go
That's
anywhere?
all I hunt. I mean, I love the state that I live in. I mean, we got some really big deer. I mean, you look at Georgia, we've got more Boone and Crockett's in Georgia than all our neighboring states combined. I mean, there's some big deer in Georgia.
In North Georgia or
all over. I mean,
Really?
some, like anywhere else, some counties are better than others, but like Fulton and DeKalb around Atlanta, you take the rifle out of the equation completely. Yeah, you can grow some big deer up there, and you wouldn't believe the places they live.
Yeah,
I
mean,
you see Lee Ellis and what he kills up there year after year after year.
they're there.
so you hunt deer all over and play, neighborhoods and cities.
I don't just
Do
hunt
you
them.
traditional archery in the urban?
Yes,
You do it there as well?
Yeah, yes, the only thing I do. Yeah.
So what how hard is it to kill a deer in the neighborhood?
Compared to the big woods, like if you had to compare them hand in hand, what's different about them?
Well, everybody thinks city deer is stupid. 'Cause you can walk around in the backyard where they're used to seeing people.
Well, never mind. I'll leave that one out.
But when you step out there and get in a tree,
Yeah.
it's a whole nother. It's different.
So
You're not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
so you be killing deer like in people's front yards and stuff, or backyards, and
I've got a couple places that's super tight. I take a couple buddies over there, put them out, and they're like, "No, ain't no way. You've lost your mind."
so you go out here and you throw bait out here, corn and nut grub or something.
Yeah, I do. I really last year I didn't at all. This year, I'm trying to get them up there as close as I can where I can be really selective about my shot angle.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason. That don't get me wrong. I ain't that ain't the only reason that they draw them, but it puts the odds in my favor to get a good shot with that bow.
Yeah.
Right, because you can't just take, questionable shots.
No,
you don't have the speed. You don't have.
Well, up there, you got to hammer them, I mean, that right there, that video right there is as good as you could possibly ask for.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that backyard.
Yeah, my truck's like 20 yards from where that deer piled up right there.
I didn't even notice the house at first. Dude, you are in the backyard.
Yeah, there's another one right behind.
What is that one? Go ahead and play that random one.
That particular spot is unreal. I don't think I've ever sat there and not seen deer, bait or no bait.
Friday, November 15th. I'm back in the same spot I was at this morning, where I had all the bucks chasing the does and
So do you see big bucks in the urban spots? Like, do you see, like when there is an older buck there, are they bigger than you see them in the big woods?
I've seen more 4-year-olds since 2019, since I started hunting urban, than I've seen my whole life in Georgia hunting. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's like that. And it's just because there's no pressure on them.
Well, you the main thing up there is you don't have any gun hunting. So the only way they're gonna get killed by a hunter or by a car.
Right.
So
I'm sure the insurance company loves you guys.
urban hunting, it's like you're poaching. Because you don't want nobody else to know you don't want the neighbors. You don't want to, you got to be under the radar. I mean,
I can see that.
You've got to make the shot because you can't have a deer running through the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
That's another good thing about wood arrows, by the way. You're not going to have a deer laying in somebody's yard with an arrow poking out. Arrow's going to break as soon as it hits something.
Really?
If that was to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
man,
it's a whole nother
you have any, has that ever happened to you, though? You shoot a deer and it run out through the...
No.
I like how he knocked on the wood.
But my next shot could
very well
happen.
be.
They move, especially when these leaves get off the trees, man. Those deer radar, they get nuts.
Do you feel like you're breaking the law? Like when you're out there in the urban, you got houses everywhere. I mean, do you feel kind of like you're like I know you got to feel like, okay, uneasy almost.
What really freaks you out is when like the neighbor right behind you comes walking towards you.
No.
And you like squirrel up to that tree.
Like you're hiding up there in
like
a tree.
Squirrel does, And oh God, is she coming out here to?
I mean, you got permission to hunt this area,
Yes,
don't
you do.
You do.
But the neighbors might not know it. You never know what you're dealing with the other neighbors, and most of these people don't know their neighbors nowadays.
I got you. Mm-hmm. Well, hell, they don't even talk to each other.
Have you ever had someone come up on you and
get what we got Facebook for?
No, not yet. The only thing I've had happen was I shot a buck 2 years ago. No, more than that. This is probably the last buck I shot with a compound. That was probably 5 years ago. And I had a red light on and I was gutting the deer. I had a 4-acre block of woods behind these houses. And as I'm dragging it to the truck, I come out and I hit a power line and I go to the street, walk down the power line, hit the street. And the power line's grass, it's nice, sod and all that stuff. And I'm jet sledding this deer to my truck, and there's a lady sitting there taking pictures of my tag. Now everybody in this particular neighborhood knows I'm deer hunting. Everybody knows, but her. And she's done called the police. And she went a little nuts on me. I played it cool, the cops come, four DeKalb County police come in there.
Oh, yeah.
And they start talking to her too. I'm like, y'all, they want to talk about the deer,
Oh, they're like, oh, this is sweet. They didn't know you could do this.
She's raising Cain, having a hissy fit. I was shining a red laser through her living room window. She's got kids and single mom. And I told her, I said, lady, I'm the one you want behind your house,
That's right.
I'm not that guy. If I see some guy back here, I'm going to handle it,
Mm-hmm.
But,
so you're doing YouTube video. You're making YouTube video. Where can people find you?
At Gung Ho Bows, little A. At Gung Ho Bows. That's my
Gung Ho Bows.
YouTube channel.
That's pretty sweet. You seem gung ho.
You seem like a very humble person.
Yeah, always down to earth.
Yeah, seem pretty humble. How long you been married?
Since 2001. 2001. You know how I met my wife?
How's that?
Giving her uncle hogs in Hawaii.
You got your Hawaiian woman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
My wife's actually Filipina.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, she hunt with you?
No.
She don't hunt?
She did a few times in Hawaii.
Really? Can't convince her?
Well, we had a big fight in the woods one day. She's making too much noise. I kept saying, shh.
Oh, you hunt better alone?
So she grabbed a tree and shook it.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I did.
Hang on. Is that all she did?
She shook that tree and boy, I got hot.
Oh, yeah. You messed the hunt up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that could have been the biggest whatever, Yeah. You never know what you're going to run into.
I saddle hunted with my wife for the first time this year, and she's never saddle hunted. And I could tell she was a little nervous, And I've been saddle hunting. It don't bother me to swing around on the ropes and stuff. But man, I told her, I said, just get back here and you practice. Draw back your bow and everything, and just practice. Well, she was leaning back, and she drew back, and she was barely getting off the platform. So I just put my hand on her deal, and I just kind of pushed her back a little bit. Well, she was like a wet cat. I mean, shit went everywhere. Damn bow went forward. She went to yelling, and it was broken arrow. Like they was. I was like, calm down. You're still tied to the
I
tree.
was just helping you.
You're still tied to the tree. Quit yelling at me.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be deer hunting. But yeah, it's hard to get a woman up in that situation.
Man, yeah,
They don't understand it, do they?
My wife, she went twice with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she makes some good dishes out of all this stuff I keep.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, women cook good, don't they?
Yeah.
But they ain't built for this kind of stuff. No. Some are though.
Mine's not.
No, I hear you.
Running through the swamp, shooting hogs,
Well,
spot stalking,
You got a crazy
wood
story.
arrows.
You're like an old country boy that's humble, that has all these wild stories and building your own arrows for some reason. But you got cool camo, you know.
Yeah, I mean, really think about it. Like some of the stuff you've done, I mean, that we've seen you do. Like if somebody was telling somebody else about it, they'd be like, "Oh, there ain't no way.
Yeah.
There ain't no way. He made all that up." You know what I mean?
It took a good bit of convincing from a few guys that I'm really close with to pick up this camera, you know, because that ain't really me, you know.
Right.
It's
I can see
and that camera makes it a lot harder, even though it's a GoPro on your head.
Would you get nervous with the camera, or you just get?
I don't know. I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
But you go back and look at some of the first videos I made, and it's just like,
How many followers you got? How many followers they got? You got quite a few followers on YouTube.
that's like
how
16, 15, 1600.
Yeah,
15,
16 is
16.
what it is.
yeah.
I seen it on the last video. I was just wondering, you know.
No, you definitely having to carry around camera gear, batteries, making sure it's charged, dumping an SD card. It does add a step to the game.
Yeah, it's you know, and
you're doing it with
and you're trying.
Yeah.
There's plenty of times, you know, it just add, you know, I mean, with these whitetails, this right now, this time of year, if you don't see them coming and reach up there and hit that button on that GoPro, you liable to not. You liable to get pinned down, not be able to do it, you know.
There's a lot of your followers on your. I mean, they do the same thing you do.
Most of my followers are, you know how you can go to that analytics. Most of my followers are over 50 years old.
Really?
I have very few young people.
There's a lot of the older guys hunt like you hunt. You think it's the older guy versus the compound younger guy stuff?
Well, most of the older guys are they're a lot more older trad guys than young. You know, most of you young guys want to, you know, if they're bow hunting, they want to compound hunt because you know it's easier.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, I'm the same way. I mean,
oh yeah.
When you pick up that thing, it's just a whole nother game because you got to get close. You know, really close. 15 yards, 20 yards on a whitetail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
from 20 yards to 15 yards, I'd say at 20 yards, I'd say it could be 50-50 depending on how the deer's acting before you shoot. Yeah. And at 15 yards, you don't do much missing at 15.
Yeah.
But at 20, that 5 yards, a lot can go wrong.
So if somebody was getting into this kind of hunting, how would you tell them to get into it? What's the first step? Because, you know, I know a lot of guys have tried it and gave up on it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what makes a guy not give up on it besides your drive of just doing it? Because obviously you build the arrows, you do all that. So a lot of guys are going to buy their equipment, but you're special. You know, I mean, you stay with it. So, I mean, if you had any kind of advice to give to people to stay into this hobby, what would you do? Just be patient?
I would tell them, if you want to get into traditional archery, find you someone that has been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Not someone who just started, but someone who's been doing it for a while, and snuggle up to them and be a sponge.
Yeah.
You know, you can go watch all this stuff on YouTube on how to shoot a traditional bow. And the way you shoot a traditional bow is whatever works for you, not what works for.
I seen you shooting it sideways, horizontal.
Right, yeah, I was going to bring that up too.
You know, so why do you shoot it horizontal like that?
It's just what worked. When I draw back, that's just how it all lines up. I mean,
so there's not a certain way that you would do it, just what's best fits
whatever
you,
works,
what you're comfortable.
Do you have a reference? Like, do you aim or do you instinctively
You know,
Because I know there's guys that do both.
since I started this YouTube stuff, I've noticed that a lot of my shots are really, I mean, literally,
It's really
just
fast.
fast.
Yeah, fast acting. It's fast, quick.
So, you know, when I first started, I was 100% looking down my arrow.
But now you're more used to shooting. I mean, you've had a lot of experience doing it.
Yeah, now, you know, now I think I can do it either way. A lot of times after I shoot, I don't really remember seeing a point on my arrow. You know, it's just, but the way I'm built, when this is all stretched out completely, this is like that. And when I know that fat part of my hand hits my cheek,
Mm-hmm.
I'm at full draw. That's the hardest thing for people to learn, because if you're a half inch short, a half inch long, that's a couple pounds. You know, that's a but
change the whole fight.
Yeah. I mean,
So I noticed when you just did that, the way you hit your hand, how are you holding the string? Are you holding it with your fingers or holding it with
3 fingers.
3 fingers?
3 fingers with a little leather tab.
Oh, so it's like a solid tab.
Yeah, just a piece of leather, just to
Hmm.
keep that 55 pound string from eating your finger up.
And I guess you shoot with the knock of the arrow on top of it.
The knocks on top. I shoot 3 under. The 3 under means 3 under the knock.
3 under the knock.
Yep. So you're either going to be a 3 under shooter or a split finger, which means your top finger is on top of the knot.
You like that? Probably eat your fingers up pretty bad, huh?
I just don't like nothing touching my knot. That's why I'm
Right.
3 under with a little nail knot on top and the bottom of the knot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have nothing in contact with the knot, you know?
Yeah, because you hit it. I mean, I imagine a release, since you're doing it with your fingers, can alter it.
Oh,
the shot too.
One finger drag a little more than the other. You don't come off clean. Yes, that's probably the hardest thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So just being consistent is probably the number one thing.
A consistent draw and a consistent release, I'd say, are the 2 biggest factors. Then you got, you figure out if you're going to try to be an instinctive shooter, if you're going to be a point on guy, a gap guy where you're looking down your arrow and saying, all right, the top of my arrow needs to be on that target's back at 30 yards. That's kind of how my setup are. If I'm shooting a target 30 yards, I can lay that arrow up there on top of that back, and that's going to drop right in there. But on a deer, the deer ain't going to be there. 30. I'm not shooting at a deer over 20.
How many times have you missed a deer?
I missed one the other day. That's the first one I've missed this year.
Really?
Yeah.
How many times did you miss deer before it became natural to you?
I missed the first hunt ever I went on with a stick by shot over the same yearling 3 times. Shot over its back.
A yearling?
Yeah, that's why I got 3 shots. And
Tell me, I'm perfect when they come in.
I had 2 arrows left. Hadn't killed a deer with a stick bow yet, and first time I shot over it, and I was like, well, maybe I was a little amped up. Let me try this again. Draw back right in the same spot, and then it comes back in there. I was hunting over a feeder. Comes back in there. Like, man, something wasn't right. Let me try. And this time I really focused, made sure.
Yeah.
Right out the fletching hit the deer's back.
And how old were you then?
This is 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This is my first year trad. This is my first.
Your first go at it.
I had 2 arrows left. I said, 3 strikes, I'm out, you live,
Yeah.
And then the next deer, my first trad deer was a monster 6-point buck. I mean, 20-inch inside spread.
Really?
Shot him at 7 steps. I was in a saddle, and I was set up for I saw him working a swamp edge, and I hit him with I hit him with a normal grunt first. Then I hit him, didn't do nothing. I hit him with just a most obnoxious noise you could blow on a grunt. He stopped, made a scrape, peed in it, and he got about 20 yards from me, and he postured up, ears back. I could see the hair raised on his back. And I was set up for my shot right here to the left of the tree. At the last minute, he turned and come this side. I was so twisted up in those ropes. It was absolutely ridiculous. Because I literally come over the, the bridge, just a absolute cluster.
You had to put your hand in between the bridge.
And
Yeah.
I
I've had to do that too.
shot him at 7 steps. He run off,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew I hit him back, but I knew he was quartering away. So I was in good shape, I thought. And about that time, a doe come out, and I just power drove her at 12 yards, you know.
You just
Yeah.
laying them down.
Dude, he's mowing them.
So I'm walking back to the truck to get the sled for the doe, and there the buck lays right to run right toward the truck.
Lucky you.
I bet you're pumped up though.
Hey, this spot was a park in a Waffle House parking lot to hunt it. Literally.
You have a good time, don't you?
Dude, that urban land, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I talk to people that go out there and do it, and they're like, man, there's deer all in there.
I just feel nervous walking out there.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like it's, I don't know.
I was the same way.
You feel kind of like dirty
You
almost.
feel
Like,
it.
I shouldn't be here right
yeah,
now.
I mean, it takes some getting used to. That stand there, I shot that deer the first time I ever urban hunted was with a compound. My buddy walks me. He said, we pull up and there's a Holiday Inn and a Waffle House, and they share
Yeah.
the same parking lot. And he's like, all right, now be quiet going in here, you know. Well, I'm going to take you in here this first time. And we walked down the slope on back of the park. There's a big swamp in there. And we walked down the slope, and he steps on these trash can, you know, like aluminum cans or plastic bottles, makes all kind of racket. And I'm like, what, are you trying to sabotage me? We take about 10 more steps and get in the stand. I ain't 15 yards from the parking lot. You can see the stand from the parking lot. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. He said, well, just get here and wait. About 9:30, they'll show up. And we left. We went back from Atlanta that morning with 5 deer on the back of his truck.
That's crazy.
He killed 3. I killed 2.
Man.
Right there in the parking lot.
Yeah, he was
That's
about a
nuts.
mile from me. He killed a really nice 8 that morning.
Those deer get used to that. They just
Yeah.
get used to all the people, and they feel safe.
That's why you don't want to, you can't get deep in those urban yards. You want to get in on the edge.
Really?
Yeah, where they're used to kind of seeing a little activity. Because if you try to get in there deep, then they're not used to seeing nobody.
Yeah, they're
and
different.
And then they get all nuts. I mean,
It's like a car driving by, the deer don't move.
Yeah.
You stop the car and the deer moves.
and you can, y'all think I'm crazy when I tell you this, but I swear you can walk out there in regular clothes, but you put on camo. I don't know what it is, man. It's like you become a predator. It's nuts.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Explain what you're talking
Explain
about.
definitely break that down.
So,
Because, I mean, am I wearing the wrong camo? I mean,
well, I mean, these deer are used to like those places where you see me, like literally in somebody's backyard.
Yeah.
Those deer are used to seeing people back
right, in regular clothes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
But it's like if you put on camo and walk back there, you're like a predator.
You're talking about like you changing to a
Yes,
predator.
yeah. So I'll do this for a couple reasons, and some of this. I don't know how many people have talked about this or not. I probably should have just kept this to myself. But a lot of times I will wear a regular shirt to my stand. If the deer see me, they're like, oh, he ain't supposed to be that. That's a little
He's
odd.
a little weird.
But also, if people see me, they don't think nothing about it.
Right.
When I shimmy up the tree, pull the camouflage shirt over.
Well, it works two ways. It works for deer and the people.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what you can get away with.
Because the people, I mean, you're legally hunting these areas, but the people don't know it, and it just bug the crap out of you.
They don't,
yeah, I mean,
they don't think you probably
They
could.
try to call the law.
you want to keep it low key.
Yeah, you
the
do.
less people that know, the better off you are.
Yeah, that's right.
And
I can see that.
yeah,
Like you don't want somebody staring at you out the window. Hey,
oh,
you know.
my buddy shot one last year, and it went over there and died in somebody's backyard with the arrow poking right out of it. Now,
Oh, my
you talk
God.
about causing a show.
That's bad.
Yeah, lost the spot over it. But
Really?
That spot was great. It's no more.
Why did he lose a spot over him?
Because they raised so much heck
Yeah, but
that it would go to the homeowner, and you get one ruffled up in the neighborhood, then next thing you know, they don't want to deal with all that drama, so they just cut you off the hunt.
Is that happening a lot now, or you think it's?
That's the first time I've lost a spot because of that since. And I mean, I hadn't been doing it long. I started in 2018, 2019.
Right.
But those urban spots come and go. That's why it's kind of hard to let, they sell them.
Why do you hunt urban though?
Because I like seeing deer every time I go sit.
Okay.
And it's target rich environment.
So it's a because you see deer.
There's a lot of deer.
You don't have public land to hunt, or you don't have.
I do. I mean,
But you just like the challenge of urban hunting.
I like it. Because I know I'm gonna see something 99% of the time. I may not get
because you're gonna shoot the first thing that walks in.
I might.
You might. You dropped the hammer, huh?
Until this year.
Oh,
absolutely.
You learned a lesson, didn't you?
This year I've been more selective.
You learned a lesson.
Yeah. Next year you're going in with a different game plan.
You're gonna come back next time on the podcast. Hey guys,
Hey,
I shot a 150.
I just ate a tag.
Shot a 150.
Lord willing, I'm gonna show y'all that deer next year.
Yeah, I hope you do.
He's gonna be a monster.
I hope you kill him.
Yeah, he gonna blow up. He's at that age where they really blow.
Really,
I think he's about a 4-year-old right now, 4 to 5.
He got good mass on him
Yes.
too.
And that palmation.
Yeah.
They're
Carries
like
his mass
knife.
out good.
And he broke off his main beams broke right now.
Yeah.
So surely nobody will shoot him.
Where's that buck at? You got that buck pinned on the neighborhood, or
Oh yeah.
right? So usually when you find a good deer in urban, they usually don't go nowhere.
Well, they do roam a lot.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially during the rut. I mean,
Really?
you have somebody down the road running cameras 2-3 miles. That big 6-point I told you I killed my first trad deer.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy of mine had a picture of him like 2 miles from there, like 6 hours before I shot him. Same deer, and there wasn't no doubt about it. It was him. I mean, big old monster.
Was he running like a finger or something?
Yeah, they run. I call them spaghetti noodles. It's kind of like Western hunting, except instead of creek, instead of fence rows and hedgerows, it's these
You're hunting neighborhood alleys.
green spaces.
Yeah.
What they call them, creek
Like
buffer zones.
Right. Yeah.
Like if you got a creek running in between two neighborhoods,
Yep.
that's where you're gonna be hunting.
The strip of woods. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously it's where deer's gonna be.
I mean, if a deer's gonna move from
Yeah.
point A to point B, and there's a jagged line of woods, he's gonna have to go down the woods.
You ever hunt out of a playhouse or something?
No, I haven't, but my buddy has.
Really?
Yeah, he actually hunted out of the playhouse.
Really?
Swing set. As a matter of fact, he had a trail camera on the leg of the slide.
Oh, that's funny. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's so funny.
Did he kill a deer out of the playhouse?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
What's crazy is when they come out and start swinging their kids 2 lots down from you and you're sitting in a tree.
That is funny.
That's when you're like, oh, my. I mean,
You can't get mad at him because you're like
It's
in the
life.
neighborhood.
There's times this year on that one spot that I hunted that I had deer in there on me and I couldn't shoot them because people are out in the yard and I didn't want a deer running. So I said, well, I'm not going to get in that particular stand till an hour before.
So you're hunting an acre, like a half-acre lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're hunting a half-acre lot on someone's property.
Yeah, a couple places. The smallest place I got is that. Some of them are.
So once a deer comes onto the half-acre or quarter-acre, you're shooting.
Yeah.
I got you.
And
so if the deer runs off of the quarter-acre, whatever, you got to get permission to get the deer.
Yeah.
And that's when it turns into
that's when you can lose a spot. That's why you don't need them they need to go down in sight. Some of those places I won't even hunt in the mornings at all. And I only hunt them during the week in the afternoons.
So why do you like to hunt in a situation where it's all that stress?
I don't know. It's just something about it.
There's just something about it, huh?
I think that he just loves to hunt. What I see here, you just love to hunt. You've always loved to hunt, and this is just a more challenging way to do it.
Yeah.
A more game plan.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Traditional way, but then again, it's not traditional because you're in the neighborhood. But what you're using is traditional.
Yeah.
I mean,
man.
Andrew and Sika, which isn't traditional. You got all kinds of
Yeah.
conflict of.
I mean,
like you're like a cowboy hipster.
he's like pimping
what I'm
out.
saying?
He's like pimping out like a $1,000 outfit with a homemade bow.
Hey,
He's making his own arrows.
I
and
mean,
he
that
just
dude's
used the-
legit.
He just used the word low key.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't get a read on this guy.
yeah.
You-
It's everywhere.
I seen a dude walking down the neighborhood wearing Sika, and he had a recurve bow.
yeah.
And he,
That's legit.
Call 911.
he had turkey feather arrows.
Yeah.
But that one spot, like I say, I won't hunt it except
Mm.
during the week, afternoons only. That way you just lower your risk of
Yep.
conflict with somebody.
Yeah.
So do you fish?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna do a
Do you
whole lot.
coon
Do you
hunt?
fly fish?
Yeah,
We're asking all kinds
Is that
of
what you
questions.
do?
That
We're like,
ain't-
okay, we're fascinated.
That ain't my main flight. The main
Yeah.
thing I like to fish for is crappie and catfish. Now
Yeah.
I got a buddy lives in there in Savannah. We go down there and catch those speckled trout and reds. And
Oh, yeah.
flounder. Yeah.
Cool.
We're gonna make some videos with my new boat.
Oh, man.
Whacking on them specks.
You like-
Hey,
yeah,
you're a prime example of just an
Man,
well-rounded outdoorsman.
just a country boy that's
Absolutely.
having a good time. You're very humble. You build your own. You're making your own sport challenging to yourself, and you don't give a shit what anybody thinks of you. So I mean,
Yeah.
you're rocking Sika with a homemade bow in neighborhoods.
Dude, he's
I mean, dude, you're like a Fred Bear.
like a hipster cowboy Fred Bear.
It's pretty neat. It's
I
pretty
had-
cool, man.
He's got everything going on, man.
I had guys in my comments on some stuff this year like,
I can only imagine.
I really loved everything you did till you killed a deer over bait.
Oh
And
man,
and you lost me there. I'm like, well, so long I can't tell a difference in the way the meat tastes.
Mhm.
Thanks for watching. Thanks
Yeah,
for your
like-
comment.
like
Yeah, that's
Dude.
how I deal with it.
yeah, like
Yeah,
who cares what you comment? You know,
Oh,
That's-
haters gonna hate, man.
Oh.
I'm sure you know.
Yeah, when you put yourself out there, you better be ready.
oh, I get hated on all the time.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, man, it's awesome to talk to you and get you on the podcast. I
I
mean,
can't wait to see you out there in the swamp.
we meet all kinds of people on this podcast, but you're definitely
Y'all
different.
got to get to Georgia, man.
Oh, we gonna go shoot some deer on a
Well,
on a trampoline or something.
well, I mean,
We're gonna jump on a trampoline, shoot that thing.
Yeah, hey, listen, what's cool about it is we can like eat Waffle House.
lost that spot.
Then
Oh, he lost the spot.
Waffle House
Damn it.
spot.
It's gone.
Golly.
Yeah.
McDonald's, what McDonald's available?
I don't have any restaurants anymore in none of my spots. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I got a golf course.
Just imagine though. Imagine sitting out there at the Waffle House. You can see the wood. You can see where you're hunting. You get the window seat, the nice window seat where you can see your spot, and you're just like, go ahead, checking it out, doing a little bit of.
Just
you know.
leave your bow and your overalls hanging in the tree and walk in the Waffle House and then come back. You know?
That's right.
That's crazy. It's crazy. Well, it's crazy how animals adapt to the people in the cities and
Yeah, it
everything
is
else.
crazy.
It's really good. I know we just laughing and having a good time, but it is really crazy that you can actually go in the neighborhoods and kill deer.
Consistently.
You think they'd just run off into the wild and stay hidden, but they've learned to come out
Yeah.
towards the people.
Yeah.
That's where they're
Yeah.
safest.
Yep.
It's crazy.
You see,
How's everything's reversed,
you see somebody with the fences around their trees and the mesh over their
Yeah,
flowers.
you know that.
the
That's what
door
you're
you
looking
knock
for.
on.
That's what you're looking
He's
for.
a absolute.
Yeah, he's riding down the neighborhood.
Yeah.
He's
But
like,
seriously.
oh, I
ma'am,
get it. I
ma'am,
get
are your
it, I get it.
flowers are your flowers being harassed by the deer around here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
'Cause
no.
I
He's
can
like,
get rid of them.
he's like, man, I've noticed you got your garden wrapped up. You got a deer problem?
I would drag equipment to Atlanta for 3 years to grade these aggravating pool decks on these mansions, They
Yeah.
did all the grading for the pools, the
Mhm.
pavers, concrete. And the only reason I put up with all that aggravation of the traffic and hauling is to try to get some more permission.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Oh,
He's an
man.
animal.
You enjoy
He's an
it.
absolute animal.
You enjoy it for sure.
They come out, the first thing I ask them is, how you feel about the deer?
Now that I'm here with all my equipment,
And you're easy to talk to too. So it's not like, me and Brandon went to Kansas and we knocked on some doors to go turkey hunting. And sometimes it's hard to talk to people. Like, hey, can we kill turkeys on your property? But you are pretty easy to talk to. So it comes natural.
My wife's told me for years I need to be a salesman.
I believe that. I believe she's right.
man. Well, James, this is awesome, man.
Man, I enjoyed it. It's
You're,
good to meet
It's
you.
going to be a fun podcast.
It is gonna be fun. I can't wait to see what you do out there in the swamp, and I hopefully kill them last 2 does and
Enjoy your boat.
I can't wait to
Absolutely.
get that boat bloody. I got an urban spot that I can access by river now and not have to deal with any other.
You gonna send us,
Boom.
you gonna send us pictures?
Send you a video.
All right, send us a
I'm
video. That'd
talking
be
about.
awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Well, I think that wraps this up, guys. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you later.